Hi folks, so in this video what we're going to do is we're going to complete a question here based on the topic of orthographic projection and more specifically auxiliary projection. So this question actually came from the 2010 Leaving Cert Ordinary Level Paper section B. So it says here, the 3D graphic to the left shows a model of a greenhouse with a compost bin attached, okay? So you can see the greenhouse, okay, and obviously it's glass so we can kind of see into the inside part, and we've got a compost bin attached on the outside with a surface here identified as surface A. It tells us figure B2 shows the plan and elevation of the greenhouse and the bin. So you can see here B2 is this here. We've got the elevation view sitting on our XY line, which is representing the horizontal plane, okay, the ground, and then we've got the plan view here, which is representing the bird's eye view, looking down on top of it, okay, and all our measurements. And what it tells us then is part A, we have to draw the given plan and elevation, so we're going to be redrawing these guys, and then part B, draw an auxiliary elevation of the greenhouse and compost bin, projected from the plan, which will show the true shape of surface A of the bin. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So starting off, I'm going to start off, before I get onto the auxiliary, we're just going to focus on draw the given plan and elevation. Now, for part B, I do have to consider where I'm going to position this on my sheet. Because this here is surface A, that's a line and plan, we can see surface A in elevation here, which is that guy there, but in the plan we see it as a line. I'm going to be projecting this way. Okay, so my object when I'm doing part B, the auxiliary, is going to be going up around here. So it's very important then that I position my plan down here, elevation here, so that I've got this space up here to do my auxiliary. Right, starting off, I'm going to start off with looking at the plan. I can see that the height of the plan is 90, or I suppose the width of the plan is 90 and the length is 80. But from the edge of my page here, as we're positioning on the page, I'm going to just kind of come up a little bit from the edge and do a line across there, and that's going to be my guide. I'm going to start with the plan. So from there, I'm going to pick a position about roughly here, and I'm going to measure 80 millimeters, okay, because it goes 80 long. It's going to measure 80, and the roof is in the middle, so I'm just going to measure the 80 first of all. So there's my 80, so pick a point there, measure 80. The reason, and then I need to make sure that I have 11 centimeters. 80 plus 30 is 110. I'm just making sure that 11 centimeters fits in before the edge of the page here. So that's fine. So there's the 80. I'm going to add on another 30, which will bring me to the 11. Now I want to do a vertical line. Switch up the pencil here. All right. Okay. That line there is going to be 90 millimeters in height. Technically this, I suppose, is showing us the width. So measure the 90, do a line up. And this one, let's do a line up. Okay, from that mark there where the 90 was, I'm going to come across. Okay, and then you can see from this point here we're coming down 40, and then we have a 45-degree angle there. Okay, so down 40 to here, you see that little point there, and then we're going to do a 45-degree angle. Now, I'm not sure if that drawing is fully representative of it. As you can see there, it doesn't look like it's fully representative of it, but we're going to put it in as they've told us. You'll see here that line does not look like it's 45 degrees, but we're going to put it in as if it was. Okay, I think there's just an error on the book. Now, that's kind of the rough shape of the plan at this moment in time. What we're going to do now is we're going to start the elevation. So I'm going to keep a little gap. I'm going to keep a gap of about anywhere from 1 to 2 centimeters. I'm going to come up 1.5 centimeters, 15 millimeters. I'm going to do my XY line going across. So there's my XY line. I'll start heavying in a couple of little bits of information now. So the XY line can always go in heavy, where it splits the vertical and horizontal plane. I'm going to heavy in this bit down here, just for demonstration purposes. Okay. Heavy in my horizontal line. Heavy in this. Okay, so there's the plan as much. I'm not going to get this line just yet. It'd be quite easy to get it, but I'm just going to do it properly. Now, from the plan, I'm going to project up and get the elevation. So from here, the line is going to go up and up and up. So they've all gone up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the height. So the height of this bit here is 60. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to mark from my 10 up as far as 16, just because the visualizer is in the way up here. 10 up as far as 16. So here's my little mark, tiny little mark there. And what we're going to do is do a line across. I've got a height of 30 here at the side. So I'm going to measure up 30. So from 10 up as far as the 13. That's the 30 mil. Do a line across. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get the apex of the roof, and you'll see that there's two 30-degree angles. So getting my set square here, 30-degree set square, I'm going to go 30 degrees in like this from this point, and then I'm going to go to the opposite side, flip the set square over, 30 degrees at the opposite side, and there we go. Okay, I'm going to heavy that in now. So there's this one, this. Okay, getting my various details put in, and then getting the apex of the roof. Okay, so I've got the roof there. Now I'm going to put in the door. Actually, before I put in the door, sorry, should project this point from the apex of the roof. That's going to come down now. And now I'm going to heavy in this line. Okay, so that's the line I was missing. And you'll see down here at the very, very bottom, we've got 40 millimeters. What that means is I'm going to go 20 to the right and 20 to the left for the door. So I'm just going to mark those and have them in play. Just going to mark 20 millimeters to the right, make a little mark like that. And 20 to the right and left. There's my door in the plan. I'm going to bring it up to the elevation. That comes up, and that comes up, and we'll heavy in the door in the elevation. Okay, and there we have it. There is the elevation and plan views completed. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to identify surface A. Okay, so that's part A done. Just going to tick that off. Draw the given plan and elevation. Done that. Now we're on to part B. Draw an auxiliary elevation of the greenhouse. So an auxiliary view, an angled view of the greenhouse and compost bin projected from the plan. So we're going to be projecting from the plan view, which will show the true shape of the surface A of the bin. So if I just use my highlighter here, okay, we're going to identify this surface here as surface A. Now I'll colour it in on both. Fast forward in the video if you need to. Okay, there's surface A in the elevation. Okay, once again, let's come over here and identify it. There's surface A in my elevation, colouring it in. And we want to get the true shape of surface A. So how do we get the true shape of the surface? Well, we have to identify that surface as an edge view so that we can look perpendicular to it. And in the plan view, surface A will be seen as a line. And when we see the surface as a line, that's known as what's called an edge view. Put that in there. So that is called an edge view. And when you look perpendicular to an edge view, just going to get it, because this is going at 45 degrees, perpendicular is just 45 degrees the other way. So our viewing direction is there, like this guy. Okay, and we're going to be looking perpendicular, and when we look straight at a surface, we will see it as its true shape. Okay, now the rule is if we project from the plan, we're going to take our heights from the elevation. So we're going to start off with that there now. So once again, just highlight that surface. That is our edge view. So starting off, we're going to look perpendicular, or sorry, project perpendicular to our edge view. Okay, so let's just take surface A there. We're going to set up an auxiliary view. First of all, surface A which is this face here, we're seeing it as a line in the plan, an edge view. We're going to set up an auxiliary view parallel to that. Okay, so out here at 45 degrees, I'm going to do a line like this. Okay, going to heavy it in, nice and heavy. This is why kind of, I suppose, the location was very important. This line here is called an X1, Y1. Now, starting off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the true shape of surface A. So this point here, I'm going to project it out, and this one, project it out. And what's important to note is, we set up our auxiliary view parallel to the edge view of the surface. So just went, that line was at 45 degrees, projected across, our X1, Y1 is at 45 degrees, and 45 plus 45 going the other way will make up 90, and that's going to be perpendicular. Now, to get the true shape of surface A, there's only 4 points on it. You can see them up here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2 of them are on the ground, this one and this one. So because the 2 of them are on the ground, well then, here is 2 points that are on the ground. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to now take the heights. So if I project from the plan, I take my heights from the elevation. So I'll take the distances from here, from the XY line up. So if I want to find the height, I'm going to take the height for this guy, mark it up from the XY line up, and mark it there, and it'll be the same height for the one at the opposite side. Okay, and there we go. We are now going to be able to draw in our surface A, which is a true shape. So there is surface A. I'm just going to write in true shape. And once again, I want to identify that with a little bit of colour. No, pen is just after bleeding a little bit there, apologies. So there is the true shape of surface A. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the rest of it. Now what you have to understand is, it's like we're looking at the object the whole way along with these arrows. Okay? Because that is just the viewing direction. So, the question is, I can see the true shape of this surface. Can I also see this face? Yes, we can. So, I'm going to project up this point here. And that is the same height as well. And we'll see that's the same height. So, I could also mark the height again. I could take the height from here. But what's helpful is, my line is just at 45 degrees. So, I'm going to bring it across like that. You could mark up the distance and it will be the exact same result. So that is actually, that face there now is just this side face, but we're not seeing that as a true shape because we're seeing an angled view of it. So we're going to heavy that in. So there we have the compost bin. Now we have to draw in the side view of the house. Okay, I'm going to start with the front face of the house. So the front face of the house comes from this point, and this point. So these are going to project up 45 degrees. So that will come up the roof and here. Okay, so there's the front of the house. So here and here. Now this point and this point are in relation to here and here. So I'm going to take the distances from there. So follow it down and out, mark it up for this one and this one, and then for the apex, take the distance here. Okay, once again, let's start heavying in our surfaces. And this point will connect up here. Show the pitch of the roof. Okay, so there is the pitch of the roof. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in, so it's like we've done that front face. There's a face running down here at the side of it, okay, kind of going above the compost bin. You imagine there'll be a face at the side of the building. So how do I get the side face? Well, that's going to be going from here to here. So that's the point that we need here at the back. So that one. Okay, and then the back face, there's the top of the roof, and there'll be an edge here as well. There. How do I find those points? They're the exact same heights. So rather than using my compass again, I could just get my set square and go along like this, because they're the same heights, because that's going to be at parallel to the auxiliary view, the x1, y1 line, can go across like that, and the apex can go across like that. And then, it's simply a case of heading it in. So there's going to be the side of the house. That's going to end there, because that's where it ends here. So that's to there. This point will connect up to here. And this point to there. Okay. Now, what we're going to get onto now is the door. So the door, where does the door come from? If you remember, we have this point here and this point here. So I have to project these up. So the door will come up like this. And this. And then, simply, you'll see the door is at the same height, okay, as the walls. So then, because that line's already across, it's actually quite easy for me. Just heavy in this bit here. So that's the opening to the greenhouse. So there's the opening to our greenhouse. And then the last little bit we have to do is always putting in hidden detail. So as I said to you previously, there'll be an edge here at the back where the roof will come down at the back. So let's find this point. That point will come up as far as here. So I'm going to connect this guy to there. Okay, and then we have one final bit of hidden detail, and there will be an edge running along the side of the wall where the wall meets the roof at the back edge. So there'll be hidden detail in there. Okay, and oh, nearly forgetting one. We'll have a little bit of hidden detail here. Running down. That's going to show the back wall. And there's none here because that's where a face is meeting a face and they're flush. Now you could technically, if they're two separate objects, you could say that there was hidden detail there as well. Because I suppose, even though they're flush, the compost bin isn't part of the shed. So maybe actually, yes, there probably would be a little bit of hidden detail there as well. But there you have it, guys. That there was the 2010 Ordinary Level Section B question based on orthographic and auxiliaries. And it was all about getting the true shape of surface A, but also completing the rest of the greenhouse, where we got the front face, the side faces, the roof, and we input the hidden details as well. That's the question done there, guys. Hope you found that helpful. Okay.